terms of opening up the space, there are so many possibilities. You know, you could put the hand here, you could put the hand there. You want to create, especially for a medieval piece of art, rhythms are so important because you see dynamically rather than simply, oh, does it look like it does in nature? You're creating these slightly abstract, well, it's abstract use of space. So how do you abstract it in a way that's going to be beautiful, harmonious, and take you on a journey effortlessly? So, for example, if you think of a steps in your house, if those steps are not exactly the same, you end up tripping because your brain is expecting it to be at exactly the same height. And without even thinking about it, you walk up the stairs. But if you have one which is just too deep, you'll trip. We experience space more than just simply as an analysis in our head. It becomes something instinctive in us. So we have to work with our instinct. Visually, it's the same thing. You know, our eyes will glide across a composition, but if you see something just out of space, your eye will just judder. So if you think, for example, you have a piece of wallpaper, you know, you've got a pattern on the roll, and you put the two next to each other. If they're not exactly lined up, your eye is scanning across the whole wall, and where it's not lined up, bam, you see it every time. Not because it's wrong, it's just been slightly misaligned. If you can align them, your eye just flows across the pattern as though it's one seamless whole, not strips of wallpaper. So we need to create icons which have this seamless flow, and the geometry is a way of opening that space up and helping us to put things in just the right space so there is that flow without that sort of grating moment. That making more sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to be a slave to it. It's not like joining the dots, but it's a structure that helps you relax, and you say, well, where am I going to put this book, for example? And you sort of guess it, and it's vaguely all right. But actually, if you use like a grid, well, not a grid, but this pattern, you can actually create the book in a way that your eye will go from a hand to the book, and without even realizing it might even be the wimple, because they're all relating to each other, as it were, underneath the surface. And once you've got that, the eye is going to be less distracted and more focused on the journey of communion with the figure that's within the composition. So,
Ian, the construction of this grid that you're using, that's in your book, is it? How you construct the circles and squares? Is it in your book?
Okay, the way you construct it, no, I don't think it is in the book, how to construct this. Basically, vertical line, horizontal line.
Yeah.
And then at 45 degrees. So if you have those lines at 45 degrees, and then you put your circle, draw your first circle.
Yeah.
Where the circle cuts through the diagonals.
Yeah.
You draw a straight line, and you construct that box.
Okay. Yeah.
Within the circle. Then you
and
draw
then
your next circle on the box.
Yeah, gotcha.
All you need, the key thing is getting your diagonals at 45 degrees to each, 90 degrees to each other, 45 degrees to the vertical and horizontal.
Okay, yeah.
So you can use a protractor for that, or you can take the compass and, you know, do all that sort of stuff. But that's basically what you're doing.
Okay, right? Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So let's go back to Judith, and I'm going to. So if we bring this image here and I'm going to use this to try to understand the rhythm in the composition.